Hello, Curtis.
Hello, welcome back.
Welcome back. We've had a bit of time away from the microphones, but we're back. We're excited. Yeah, well, we both had exams, and
How'd you go today?
I went well. I only realised I had the exam about 4 days ago, so that left me in a bit of a pickle. However, the exam was on risk management, and I feel like maybe it was a good thing that I left it so late, because I was managing the risk of failing this subject, which is still a risk.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, man.
You just learned how to manage that risk. I hope you managed it well, brother.
So do I, my man.
Cheers to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm out of coffee, but drink away. So, how's your day?
Good, thank you. Yeah, just went down to the library and was studying, and I was reading a book.
Chilling. What book were you reading?
I was reading The Alchemist.
The Alchemist.
Paulo Coelho. Don't know how to pronounce it properly, but
yeah, good. Book club.
Have you started it yet?
I have not started it yet. Yeah, I'm a bit late at that, but that's alright. I'll see.
So far, it's really good.
Okay, interesting. Are you almost finished?
50 pages in, so.
How many pages?
Early days, 160 something.
Okay.
150
I
something.
might try and get a copy off someone because I couldn't find it in the library.
It's contested down in the library.
It's super contested. There's a lot of locals.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we should probably talk about what we have brought everyone to discuss with us today. Do you want to let them know?
Yeah, sure. Today we're going to be talking about traveling on a budget and our experiences doing so, and also what we've found online, looking into some other ways you can do it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, budget locations, little tricks you can do, any planning tricks you can do, basically anything that means that you spend less money, right?
Exactly.
Cool. So that's pretty damn exciting.
Yeah.
We should probably start by saying that we have had experience in the field of budget travel. We're not just going out on a limb and throwing out some bullshit. Like we have had past experience.
About this, but also not extreme.
Not extreme. Not as extreme as some people have done it. We did still put aside money and go over with spending money, but yeah.
But we did it cheaper than any other person that I know.
Yeah, we did it pretty cheap. We were quite stringent at times. Yeah. But that was fun in a way. It was a new experience, and I'm pretty excited to share these experiences with people.
Doing the budget travel in Japan though doesn't get you many friends. When your friends are on a bigger budget,
I can imagine. Yeah,
constrain the traveling relationships just a bit sometimes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, that would definitely. Japan is also a pretty expensive place, right?
Pretty expensive.
Yeah. So where have you been? All in all?
So I've been to Thailand, Vietnam, and Japan.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And which of those was the cheapest or easiest to do?
Vietnam was so cheap.
Vietnam.
Insanely cheap.
Right.
And so I was there with you for about 11 days.
Yeah,
I spent about maybe $500, $600 spending.
Insane.
And I wasn't trying to save money there
Absolutely insane. So like roughly $50 a day, which is...
I think it was around about
I'm going to say that we actually spent less than that.
I think we did.
100%. $50 a day is not what we budgeted for.
Yeah.
I'll just clarify it. Curtis and I both went to Vietnam, and then Curtis went to Japan, and I stayed on. We went with a friend called Jake Brown. I stayed on with Jake.
Shout out to Jake Brown.
Shout out to Jakey boy. We went to Cambodia and back through Vietnam again. On top of that, I've done a bit of Europe, and that's it for my locations. Europe, Vietnam, and Cambodia. Europe, mostly the main countries, none of the cool indie ones, just kind of the basic ones.
End of this year we'll tick off a few.
Yeah, we'll definitely be ticking off a few at the end of the year. Going to be heading back there to do a bit of study, but that's for another episode. So let's get back to Vietnam.
Sure.
So that was definitely my cheapest place to travel as well. I found it even cheaper than Cambodia.
Really?
Yeah, to be honest. And I think that's just because there were so many options in Vietnam. So you could, if you were in a town in Vietnam, there'd be quite a few pubs, and you could go and you could find the cheapest one.
Yeah.
Whereas in some areas in Cambodia, one pub may have had a monopoly sort of setup going on.
Did they have the Bia Noi? Did they have the Bia Noi shit in Cambodia, like their version of it? You know how they had that like beer that they made in one day in Vietnam?
Oh yeah, like the single day. No, we didn't run into it. I'm sure they have it somewhere, but we didn't run into it in Cambodia. We spent a lot of time in Cambodia, sort of either in our hostel or out in rural areas where it wasn't so much of a party scene.
Right.
So Vietnam, what?
Well, what did we do? What did we do on the cheap in Vietnam, and how did we do it? Firstly, I got my flights through Skyscanner, and that's something I can massively recommend if you're trying to save on flights. Still waiting for the sponsorship, so if you want to give me some free flights, Skyscanner, I'm doing you a bit of service here, but honestly, I got 4 flights all up, and that was from Melbourne to Singapore, had a layover, Singapore to Hanoi, then from Hanoi to Japan to home. I think it was 1.3 for all those flights.
That's incredible. Yep. That's
all those
good.
Flights. It's an insanely good deal.
I also got relatively cheap flights. I believe Jake and I both booked together for the flights. So we got $700 it was Tullamarine to Hanoi, and then we flew out of Ho Chi Minh back to Tullamarine. So that was $700. Probably could have found it cheaper, but we were happy with that. Now, what we did was, one of Mum's best friends is a travel agent. Shout out to Effie, if you ever listen to this. You did us a solid, and you continue to do so. Thank you. Love your work. We just sent her the details of when we wanted to fly out and back in, and she was kind enough to pick out the cheapest option for us. That's good. And we hit that.
Skyscanner, travel agents, both absolute assets. And actually, I remember when me and Emma went to Thailand, we bought our flights on Jetstar's birthday. They have a promotion on Jetstar's birthday. I think it was May the 13th. Not sure exactly. Whenever Jetstar's birthday is, I'm sure you can find that out. But they had free return flights to Thailand, so we paid $350 for the flights, which is really cheap.
That's insane.
That's flipping insane.
That's freaking awesome, dude.
So that's a good promotion to look out for as well.
Staying on the topic of flights, which I think is an area where you can save heaps of money, another cool website is STA, which...
Is that student travel?
No, it's actually not. I thought it was for ages. I'll get it up now. It stands for something else. It's like what does it stand for?
Ting. It's a ting.
It just stands for something. STA, whatever that stands for. It start the adventure, I think is what it stands for actually. It's random like that. But they are the experts in student, youth and adventure travel, according to them. Now, I've never used these guys, but I have started looking at them in the past few days for my next trip. What they do is, if you can register with them as a student, you can get I think the discount ends up being $300 or something. So I'm looking at a flight to Amsterdam, just for example, and that's maybe in between $900 and $1,100 I'm looking at.
Really cheap.
At other ones. That's cheap, but then when I looked at registering with STA as a student, that dropped to $650.
Oh, so that was before the
to Amsterdam, one way.
Cooked.
That is cooked, all right? $650 into Amsterdam. And this is a good flight. It was with Etihad. It had one stopover for 3 hours.
STA.
Hit that up. STA. Start the adventure. Yeah. I personally hate the slogan, but let's run with that.
Another thing that's really cheap is avoiding checked baggage. So if you're game to do that, that's what I did when I went to Vietnam and Japan, and that saved me maybe $70 for and when you're doing it for multiple flights.
Yeah,
so
ends up being 100 and something saved.
How much are you allowed to take for carry-on?
I think it's some airlines don't have a limit at all. They'll just be it has to be carry on. I think it's starting to just become common sense. Sort of thing.
Well, there were heaps of people who had so much more than me.
Yeah.
I think I had 6 kilos.
Some people rock up with a backpack on their back and then a camera bag on the front, and it's
if it fits into the overhead lockers, then it's chill.
I think so. If they do have a weight, I think it's around 14 or 15 kilos. That's what it was for me once. And that was on a long haul flight into Dublin. So I assume maybe smaller passenger planes may carry, you maybe have to cut that down to 10 or so kilos. But what was yours? You said 6 kilos?
Yeah, I had about 6 kilos and I wasn't trying.
That's insane.
You just have to do more washing.
And you had you had clothes. Like, it wasn't like you were wearing the same shit every single day. Obviously,
Yeah.
you're gonna have the outfit
I wasn't
repeat.
smelly, was I?
You weren't. Well, look, man, I don't want to talk about that.
All right.
All right, just fuck
Fair
off.
enough.
Yeah. No, you actually, you didn't smell.
Thank you.
I think going to Southeast Asia in general, though, you're gonna sweat a lot.
Yeah.
So
Not in Sapa though.
not in Sapa.
It's freaking cold.
Why
there.
are we talking about sweat?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway.
So
You can save by not buying deodorant. That's how you can save
there's
money.
another saving. I think pheromones, natural pheromones. Get that? Say that. Back to flights. Another
Yeah.
awesome trick you can do is search up your flights on incognito mode.
What?
Big one.
Why?
Yeah, huge, right? So what websites do is they take your data when you click that button that says accept cookies. I'm not huge into IT. This is my take on it. When you accept the cookies,
Yeah, you should delete your cookies first.
yeah, they can take your information and do with it as they please. Now, if you go into an incognito browser, what will happen is they won't be able to access any of your previous data. So you're going in as like a incognito.
And they don't know what country you're from.
I think you need a VPN for that. That's the
But what
next
don't
part
they
I was
know
going to
then?
get to. They don't know that you've already visited the website. So what I'm getting at is if they see that you've already visited the website, they're going to bump those prices up. You know, it might be by $5 or by $10. But I know with me, I'm checking flights once a day over the space of a month. So that's 30 days.
So they increase it depending on how many times you visited.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. So if
It'd be
you...
interesting to try it with a VPN because they're obviously going to give higher prices to different markets.
Yes.
Richer countries are going to
That's
get more
exactly what I'm
expensive
getting
flights.
at. And it's the exact same with Booking.com, Hostel World, all that shiz. If you just go in incognito, and if you have a VPN, like personally, I'm not going to go out and get a VPN because
Yeah.
it's a bit too late for me to do that. But if you want to, if you're interested in really cutting down, you know, those extra bucks, get a VPN, go in incognito, and do all your browsing through that.
And let us know how you go.
Yes.
If you do.
Definitely. Let us know if that tip works for you. I know for me that using incognito, I haven't noticed the usual flight price increase that I usually notice as I search. So
Interesting.
for me, I've definitely noticed that it works.
Yeah.
But the VPN, that's still
That's an interesting one.
that's still fair game that can be trialed.
Yeah. Also, for accommodation, Hostel World is a no-brainer for
Definitely.
getting cheap accom. Sure.
And another thing you can do is when you go on Hostel World, type it up, you know, and you find your hostel, see if that hostel has a website, and then if the website is cheaper, book through the website. Because there is a chance that on Hostel World you're going to be paying them a booking fee for them doing all the service of finding and collating all this data of hostels, and that's going to be like $2 to $3, I'd say. So if you can, a lot of hostels won't have websites though, like especially the ones out in Sapa, which is a rural area in Vietnam, they're going to be sponsored through Hostel World. So go into Hostel World, find your hostel, and then see if it has a website. Another thing with booking through their website is, because they're going to want website traffic to make money through ads and so forth, they'll actually offer you packages if you book through the website of the hostel rather than Hostel World. Now, this is only going to be once in a blue moon that you're going to find a hostel that will do all of that, but it could be worth it for a free breakfast or free beers at
The more
6
expensive
o'clock.
the accommodation, the more worthwhile it is to check these things because the booking fee is like a percentage, isn't it, usually?
Probably, yeah, it would be.
So it's good to do it if you're already spending a lot for the accommodation.
Definitely. So that's accommodation pretty well.
It's
Actually, another big one. So hostels, yeah, cool. They're awesome. Everyone knows that their budget. I also reckon it's a good point now to say that hostels are not as bad as people make them out to be.
They're so chill.
They're awesome, and you can get these really cool, fun ones, which are like essentially pods, and you're sitting in your own minimal style pod with a phone charger, a little bench that flips down, a pull across curtain.
Can recommend the capsule hotels in Japan, the capsule hostels, where you're literally like in your little matrix box. Really good.
Yeah.
Not even cheap, but it's the cheapest you can get in Japan, so
Yeah,
relative to the rest of the accom. It's real good.
100%.
And it's all you need.
It is
You're
all
there
you
to
need.
sleep.
You're
not
putting
there
your
to
head down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, if you're going on a holiday to Vietnam, and you're worried about what your room looks like, and you want a comfortable room with a desk in it and a big chair and these nice views, then I think you're doing it wrong. I think that you should be staying in a hostel, getting up in the morning and going out into the city. That should be where your enjoyment comes from.
While you're young.
Exactly. When you're older, you can do all that nice shit.
What else was I going to say? But I was going to mention one significant downside to being in a hostel is fucking sleeping in the same room as people who have extreme night terrors, being woken up at about 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Luckily, we had to get a bus at 5 a.m. or so, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we just stayed awake anyway.
This girl who I couldn't sleep after that, man.
It was fucking
scary. This girl who was in our hostel room had some sort of thing. Must have been in a nightmare or something. But I just wake up to like a blood-curdling scream.
It was horrific.
I woke up I was instantly awake. I was like not tired. My heart was like racing.
It was like, I felt like it was definitely some sort of primal instinct. Like you hear a scream like that and you're like, I'm ready to go. Like, what the fuck's going on here?
I woke up and I'm like, fuck. And then my phone started going off and I checked it and it's Owen and he said, did anyone else just hear that? Because I didn't know if I had heard, I didn't know if I thought it could have been, well.
I thought it could have been me.
Same.
I woke up and I was like, did I just scream? That's fucked.
And then she did it again once we were awake.
Yeah, she did it again, and then
I was so scared.
Everyone in the dorm room was awake by then. People were poking their heads out of their curtains, like, "What the fuck's going on?" Yeah, that was whack. And we're trying to like promote hostels, but another hostel horror story I heard this from a girl in Galway. We were staying in the same hostel. She was in the big 24-bed dorm one, and I was in a 6-bed dorm, so mine was chill as. Hers, however, she said with the 24-bed one, first of all, like there's a lot of people coming and going all night. 24 people, there's just a higher chance that it's gonna be loud and lights gonna be turned on. But it was like 2 a.m. and everyone got back from the pub crawl, and she walked in. She was the last person to go to sleep in the 24. In her dorm, and there was this dude like with a shaved head, relatively big, staring at the mirror on the wall, and he was just like staring at the mirror and flicking the light switch on and off, like as he stared at the mirror. Super scary. And she lay down and sort of tried to go to bed, and after like 10 minutes he just stopped doing it and got into bed. And you know, she was obviously pretty worried. I think anyone would be kind of worried because that's weird as fuck behavior. Turns out she gets up in the morning and he said to her, he was like, "I'm sorry about last night. I was in the army and the only way I can get to sleep is if I do these sort of calming rituals that I have." And one of his calming rituals was to stand in front of the mirror and turn the light switch on and off. So you could run into weird shit like that. But on the most part, hostels are sick. You meet people. You're not going to meet anyone in a fucking hotel. Like, come on. Maybe a couple of... you don't meet anywhere near as many other people. No way.
If you're in a hostel, and if you're overseas, you may as well try and experience as much outside of
100%.
What you're used to.
Yeah, and
just meeting other people.
That's it. And hostels have bars, really fucking fun bars. They can get a bit annoying if like don't want to party every night.
One of the one we were at, what was it called again?
Hanoi Backpackers?
Central Backpackers Hostel. Yeah, they had literally a pub crawl every night. And when you're staying,
hard to keep up.
Yeah.
And if you're in Vietnam, the balloons. They seem like a good idea at the time, but after a few days, just
stay away from the balloons.
Just pace yourself. Man. Don't be silly. Be careful out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, hostels. You have your bar. You're going to meet people. I know for a fact that people I met at hostel bars in Vietnam, I'll be meeting up with in Europe next time I go over.
Yeah.
Vice versa when they come out here. So like. I reckon that's fucking super exciting.
Yeah.
You also meet people and you'll just be sitting there chatting. You'll be like, "What are you doing today?" "Oh, I'm going to go see this tourist attraction." And from there, you'll be like, "Oh, sick. Do you mind if I come with you?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, sure. I'm looking for someone to go with." You'll end up going out and having this awesome day with this new friend that you've met. And that's pretty cool.
Freaking cool.
Shout out to Dan the man.
Shout out to Minim and
Celine. Minim and Celine. Shout out to anyone else we met.
Yeah.
Dan the man.
Oh, there's another thing. There's another budget.
Yes.
Have it over here. Oh, yes. What me and Emma found out in Thailand, we got some insanely cheap deals on food by like, if you go back to the same restaurant in an area, like you're staying at the same accom for a few nights,
Yeah.
you go back and like you just keep going to the same restaurant, they just like love you, they just start frothing you, and they give you like always like way cheaper deals than what's on the menu, which is nice.
And that's almost part of the culture over there.
Yeah.
People are really nice in Southeast Asia, and they love, you know, they're going to love it if you're there to actually experience their culture, not just do some like lads on tour type thing and go and trash their city. Yeah, making an effort with the local language, that gets you really far, especially when you're trying to barter. If you can throw some numbers at them in their own language, or some please,
or give
some
them a
thank
solid
you.
con kamun.
Yeah. So no thanks.
No thank you.
Get out of here with that price. I know that's not real diamond. You're probably gonna get a lot further, and you know, like the locals, they love that. It's just fun, and it's more fun for you as well because you get to learn this new language. You're expanding your horizons. It's the whole part of travel. Yeah. So there's another little budget trick for you. Get in touch with the local culture and visit the same food places.
Sure. I've got up this travel like a minimalist website, nerdwallet.com.
Jamie, pull that up.
Can list off a few other actual tips they have here.
Hit it.
So they have shop intentionally before a trip. That's sort of a no-brainer. You know, everyone's already doing that.
Yeah.
Stick to one carry-on per traveller.
That's you.
That's me. I mean, I didn't have any problems with it, but a lot of people couldn't imagine like how I didn't have it. But
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think I would go it again unless if I was going for a long period of time.
Yeah.
I was very sick of the clothes I was wearing by the end of it.
I guess that's just practicing minimalism. Like,
exactly.
If you're into minimalism, you're probably going to find it super easy to just bring two t-shirts, two clothes.
Yeah. And like, it's not bad actually. And when you're traveling, it's like, whatever. Bring clothes that you like though. I'd say that much. Use public transport. Mm-hmm. Spend less on a comm. So there's Hostel World. So that's good.
When you hit that list, remind me. I want to go back to accommodation. I've got some good ones.
Well, we're on accommodation now.
Shall we just jump in now?
Go tell me what you want to say.
Couchsurfing. Couchsurfing is massive. I've never tried it myself. Met heaps of people who have done it, and there are definitely far more horror stories. I actually haven't heard any bad, like true horror stories. I have heard just some really awkward moments from it, and there are more of those than awkward moments that you hear about at hostels. But Couchsurfing is entirely free. So you jump online.
Isn't there an app thing?
There's an app,
like a website?
You log on, you create your account, and then you basically just get it out there that you're looking for a couch to surf on while you're in X country, Y country, so forth. And people will nominate, and you end up staying with them. And the way it'll work is, I think a lot of the time people just expect you to maybe buy them a few drinks if you go out, or cook dinner or something. I think there's sort of these unspoken, these unspoken rules and expectations. Yeah, that's much better.
Be a good person.
Be a good one. Just be one of the good ones.
Well, speaking of cooking dinner, grocery shopping like a local is number 5 on the list. So making your own dinner.
Making your own dinner. Find a hostel that has a kitchen, if possible.
Kitchen's such a major key.
And another way to meet people.
For sure.
Cook with them.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's how Couchsurfing works. You do have to be careful though. A lot of people I've spoken to have recommended that if you do use Couchsurfing, pick female hosts only. Now, a lot of female hosts will have on their profile settings that they only want female travelers or couch surfers, but this is just like in complete honesty from what people have said. The male couch surfer hosts tend to be a lot more creepy than the female ones. So like I was with a dude, he was 19, and we were in Galway, and he'd just finished up a couch surf in Dublin, which didn't work out. He got there, and the dude had said that there'd be a couch for him. The dude said he had a sleeping bag and a pillow, and it would all be cool, and in the morning he'd take him out and show him around the city, and then old mate was planning to just then get on the bus to Galway. However, he got to this house in Dublin, and the dude was like, "Oh, I don't have a couch. Like, I forgot to tell you that." And my mate was like, "Oh, okay, interesting." And the guy's like, "Well, you can just sleep in my bed and we can go head to toe." And he was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." This is in Dublin winter, by the way, so it's like pretty cold. So then the guy goes, I only have one blanket in the house. And my mate's like, fuck, all right, really interesting. And the dude's like, but we can just share it. Like, it's all sweet. And then it eventually progressed to the stage where the guy was like, in order to stay here, you know, I'm expecting some sort of sexual favor. So
did he say that?
Yeah. So along those lines.
Started with that. Yeah.
And then, yeah, it just he ended up getting a bus and he fucked off. So that can happen. And that's why people suggest to stay with female hosts. But also there's heaps of good stories out there. Like if I was to host someone, I know I wouldn't be doing any of that weird shit. I'd be like, yeah, sick. We'll go out and we'll do this and we'll do that. And then we'll show you around Melbourne. So for the most part, people are going to be good on it.
Yeah.
And then you have Workaway.
Yeah.
As an accommodation.
Yeah, you do. Which I'm hopefully doing.
Yes.
In December.
Do you want to explain it?
Yeah, so Workaway, shout out to a few of my mates who chipped in for a Workaway subscription for my birthday. Owen was one of them. There's also Luke and Isaac. Shout outs to them. So you have to pay a premium. It's like 50 or something.
I think 50 US. Anyway, so whatever that is.
Yeah, so you have to pay that much, but it's a yearly subscription and it puts you on in touch with a really good job list that's just for backpackers essentially, and they can pay you either in food and accommodation or food, accommodation and money sometimes if you're lucky. It all depends on the individual country's labour laws, but it's such a good setup.
100%.
I'm really keen to suss it out, because like you're really actually becoming like part of it, I reckon, when you're working there as well.
100%.
So, super keen for that.
And
thanks heaps for that.
No worries, man.
Yeah.
Stoked. Excited to have you.
Yeah.
Over in some countries.
Frick yeah.
Another thing about Workaway is like, if you get to a country and you're like, oh, I'm having a sick time, but I'm running out of money, you could just like hit up a local, I think for the most part it's farm work. And I think a lot of girls have the opportunity to do nannying, which would be super chill if that's what you're into. And then you can like work on boats and work on trains, which means you're actually traveling around whilst doing your Workaway. So there's all these different options, but you can extend your stay. It's free, minus your subscription fee. Wow, it's like pretty sick. People who talk about it speak very highly of it.
Yeah.
I think Midam and Celine actually got us onto
Really?
it. They put the idea in our head.
Really?
Yeah, because they did it. They did English teaching, which is extremely sought after.
Yeah.
So
really sought after in Japan.
I can imagine.
Yeah, you can get paid well in Japan.
Sick. And I'm sure most of our listeners are
English speaking
and good at it, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Avoid tourist traps is another one.
Yeah, that's a huge one, and they're tourist traps are everywhere.
Like we weren't part of the tourist trap, but people that we were with, remember when we went on that cruise in Halong Bay in Vietnam?
Yeah.
You want to tell them what happened there?
Well, basically what happened was we booked a Halong Bay booze cruise, or so we thought. Turns out the same company that runs it also has a separate cruise, which is for adults who want sort of a chill cruise, not so much drinking. We paid like $200 for it or something, and I think it's 2 days. Or was it 3 days, 2 nights?
3 days, 2 nights.
3 days and 2 nights, and we paid $200.
It was a pretty good deal.
Pretty awesome deal. We got free alcohol and activities included, and it was a bit of it was sketchy as, but at the end of it, we were talking to some of the adults on it, and they paid like $500 or like something like absolute extortion.
Extortionate.
Yeah, it was backed.
And they were doing basically, we were in the same, they lumped us into the same package on that island.
Yeah.
Because they obviously had spare beds, did not enough demand.
Yeah, so we paid like half the price for the exact same experience. And I think we got an extra hour of free alcohol on one of the nights. We definitely did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the orange juice and vodka.
Oh.
Horrible mix.
And it wasn't actual orange juice, it was like Fanta, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like cordial or some shit.
That was so grim.
Yeah, I had to call it in early that night. The whole the boat motion and the stupid amounts of alcohol got to me. So yeah, not for everyone, but avoid tourist traps. Another tourist trap that you can get sucked into in Southeast Asia is religious ones. So people will pull you up on the side and be like, oh, like I know in Cambodia they do this one where they'll stand in front of you and they'll start praying and they'll get you to join in with the prayer. And this when I went back when I was like 17. I went with Isaac and a few other Marsland boys will remember this one. But you join in, and then at the end, the guy goes, all right, man, like that's $10. Like you got to pay up. So like anything like that just seems weird or off, don't fall into that. It's going to be all over the street. They love it.
Like they act like they're having a good time with you, and then afterwards they expect money for it.
Yeah, that's it.
That happened to me and Emma in Thailand. Yeah. What have we got? That's it. We back.
Yeah, we had some technical difficulties as per. We'll overcome them one day. But
it wouldn't be a culture cafe if there weren't technical difficulties.
That's very, very true.
Yeah.
Cool. So we were up to talking about, we finished talking about tourist traps.
Yeah, tourist traps.
Don't fall into them, all right?
Skip the souvenirs. That's the 7th one.
Yeah, you don't need souvenirs.
No. Take photos.
That's it. And if you really are on a budget travel, then you don't need to worry about buying clothes and shit over there. I know we both bought a few little bits and pieces as we went, but yeah, I didn't worry about coming back with this huge shopping bag full of stuff. If that's the purpose of your trip, then it's not a budget travel. So
definitely not.
Yeah.
I'm just going to check something.
Of course. Do you want to flip that around as well? Yeah. We're just working out on these technical difficulties, so you guys can... you're sitting through that with us, so...
This camera is not to be trusted.
No. It's the bane of the culture cafe.
Yeah. Okay, so should we move on the agenda?
Yeah,
What's
sure.
Next?
What is next?
What is next?
I see
what
you
do
on
we
the
find
Google Doc.
useful when on a budget? It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. How about some budget locations for people who know they want to travel but don't really have any spots?
Yeah.
I've got a list in front of me here.
Cool.
So I've got Sri Lanka. Food, the street eats are about $1.50, and beer is in between $2 and $3.
And apparently recently, Luke was telling me that recently, it's really cheap after the recent terrorist attacks. Yeah, so apparently that's really decreased tourism to Sri Lanka, which is fucking stupid. So take advantage of that.
If you want to budget travel, find a spot that has recently had a terrorist attack, book a flight.
Well, no one's fucking not going to New Zealand.
That's true.
I don't think. I don't actually know, but I'd assume so.
Yeah, it's probably, yeah. Get out there.
Get out
Live
there,
on the
kid.
edge. Find the dangerous countries and go there. It's going to be cheap and exciting. Maybe. Don't tell your parents. I've got Iceland here as well, but I think that's bullshit. Iceland is so expensive, I'm pretty sure.
I wouldn't know.
Neither would I. I'm going to skip that one anyway. I also got Egypt here. I don't like this list. This list is shit. This is what happens when you don't research.
I don't know if she didn't tell me whether it was cheap or not, but possibly.
Well, it could be fun.
Yeah.
You know what I think? I think you can do anywhere relatively cheap.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, you just have to be a budget traveler about it. Travel on a shoestring budget. Sorry, go on.
I know I can say Vietnam is insanely cheap.
Yeah, it's not hard to budget at Vietnam.
We didn't even, to be fair, I didn't even feel like, apart from accommodation, we were just doing whatever we wanted.
We were not trying at all. If we walked past a banh mi stall on the street...
Give me 3.
Yes. Yes. I went to Paris and I did it on a damn budget. Like, you just need to find student bars, find hostel bars. You're going to be fine. Cook your own food. Don't do stupid shit. Like, don't pay extortionate prices for a taxi around. Just walk. If it's an hour walk, then put those walking boots on, baby.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Legit. Walking, we walked like 10Ks each day.
Yeah, so good. Also good to keep that holiday weight off. Some of it anyway.
Some of it.
Yeah. That it's going to happen. Just let it happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think in general, Southeast Asia is the most budget-friendly destination you can go.
It is, yeah.
Maybe South America, but
oh yeah, very, very, very cheap.
In terms of closeness to us, definitely Southeast Asia.
Yeah,
hands down.
For sure.
You could easily spend like $15 to $30 a day there. I've seen videos of guys spending $10 a day there. Obviously, that's kind of cutting it back to where you're not going out as much. If you're going out, that's going to bring your budget up, but only by about $10 a day. So it's doable.
Easy. It's easy there, for sure.
And it's cool. Southeast Asia is wicked. I'd love to go back one day.
Yeah. I enjoyed Vietnam a lot more than Thailand. I felt it was a little bit more of an authentic experience.
Yes, definitely.
Like less, obviously big tourism industry, but it's less just catering exclusively for foreigners.
Yeah,
which is
you're sort of there in their culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely think that going to Southeast Asia as well, this kind of strays away from the budget topic, but just
Tangent time.
Well, yeah.
Just keep it a little tangent time.
It'll be a tiny one.
Yeah.
Go to the rural places in any country you're going to. Go there. And actually, you know what? It does relate to budget because that's going to be a lot cheaper than the main cities. We went to a place called Sapa, and it was phenomenal. It's sort of up near the Chinese border. South Vietnam.
Easily a highlight.
North Vietnam.
Definitely north.
Yeah.
But it was such a highlight.
It's fantastic. It was just humble as fuck.
Humble AF.
Yeah. And then when we were in Cambodia, Jake and I, the rural areas we did was Kampot, which is sort of, my geography's cooked, I'm not even going to try, but it's rural. And we also did an island called Koh Rong San Leom or Sam. Anyway, it's the smaller one of the Koh Rongs, and it was mint and it was cheap, and it's just good. It's so much better than the big cities. Way more relaxed, and you can still get drunk and have fun if that's your thing. And if
but in
not,
a way more wholesome vibe.
In a way more wholesome vibe with a much more intimate crowd of people. It's not going to be 100 people listening to R&B in a club. It's going to be 20 people just kicking it, having some 25-cent beers at a little restaurant, just talking through the night, which is better in my opinion.
For sure. Obviously you'll do a bit of both.
Yeah, 100%. Do shit that you can't do in your own city. You're traveling for a reason. Don't go overseas and go to an R&B club. We have about 20 of those in Melbourne, so make up your mind. I don't know. You know what? It's your travel. You do what you want. Don't let me tell you what to do. We're just recommending some cool budget trips. So yeah, we've spoken about going away. We've spoken about locations. In terms of Europe, Eastern Europe's going to be a lot cheaper than Western Europe. So your Parises, your Berlins, your Dublins, your Londons, they're going to be super expensive. Prepare for that and plan your trip accordingly. Go to some other countries,
Balance it out, sort of.
Prague, balance it
out.
Budget airlines. So when you're in Europe, trains, everyone talks about trains. They're super expensive. Try and take the bus or try and hitchhike or jump on a plane. The plane deals can be ridiculously cheap. I think I went Dublin to Paris for $20, and it's it's an hour or 2 hours flying. So, one, you can't get a train that way, and two, it's fucking cheap as brick.
Reminds me of another really good way to save on accommodation and time. Sleeper trains and sleeper buses. But yeah, so I got a sleeper train in Thailand, and we got 2 sleeper buses in Vietnam.
Yes. Yeah, that way you cut down on paying for travel and accommodation. You just pay for travel. So rather than getting your bus in the morning, arriving somewhere at night, and then paying for the accommodation that night, hang around wherever you are during the day, and then get the sleeper bus, and you're paying for your travel and your accommodation in one. And it's so much better. And to get through those sleeper buses, just download some shit on Netflix, and if you're in Southeast Asia, hit up the chemist and get whatever tools you can to make that trip a lot more convenient.
They can definitely help you. They can help you in the sleeping department.
Yes, very much so.
For sure.
Are
we doing more budget, or are we doing music and moving on? Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Let's have a quick look. Don't worry about planning too much if you're traveling. Let it happen on the fly. Because if you've already booked shit and then you decide, actually I want to do that, and you have to cancel things, a lot of the time travel companies aren't cool with refunds. I know flights, definitely you don't get refunds. So book shit as you go if you're a budget traveler, because your plans and destinations are going to change. They're going to be fluid as. But do have a little sketchbook of shit you want to do. Write down things you want to do so you're not going in blind. Is something I definitely recommend. And that's kind of it for budget travel. So have you got anything else you want to add on budget travel?
I was going to say, I hope that some of the ideas we've covered today have given you a bit of inspo.
Should we do a quick summary?
Well, sure.
Just a quick bang, bang, bang.
Go say, I can't remember too well what we were talking about.
So we had, go to the Hostels website if you can. It'll be cheaper than Hostel World. If not, Hostel World is fine. have a look at Couchsurfing.
Skyscanner and Couchsurfing.
Couchsurfing and
There's another one.
That thing that
you use incognito when you're booking flights.
Yeah, incognito for flights. And what are you doing? The Workaway. Look into Workaway. Don't be afraid of hostels in general. When you're flying, student travel, STA, hit that up. Student flights, Skyscanner, hit up a travel agent.
Carry on if you can. Just do carry on.
Carry on if you can. Save a bit of money on that.
Yeah.
Avoid the trains in Europe if you're really on a budget. Southeast Asia is the ultimate budget destination. Vietnam is wicked. That's kind of it. That's it. If you want to hit us up with any questions, just message either Curtis or I, or message us exactly on...
Every time.
Every damn time. Email. Message us on the gram, Culture Cafe. If you're going to any of the places that we've mentioned, that we've been to, and you want some ideas or tips on where to go, if anyone's going to Vietnam, go to Sapa. If
anyone's got some of their own budget travel tips, send them in and we'll make them known possibly at the start of the next podcast.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it's just a quick list.
Interact with us.
Let us give us
get it out there.
Yeah.
It'd be super exciting.
Music of the week.
Music of the week. What have I been listening to?
What have I been listening to? I need to go and find out. BRB, jumping out. Oh, no. I know who I've been listening to.
Do you want me to just chat while you...
Yeah, no.
Or do you want to start?
Just have a quick chat.
A quick chat. So this week I've moved on from the Smiths, considering it's been like 3 weeks since we last spoke about that.
Yeah.
I've been listening to Deep House a lot this week, and
really?
I don't have an artist for you guys this week because what I've actually found is...
Genre.
Yeah, well, the genre, and I found a playlist on Spotify. It's called, I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's EELF, and it's by the user, he's not making it easy for me, or she, Igu, something like that. Basically, it's a collection, it's like 5 hours long. I've been hitting it up big time while I study. It's just deep house. So a couple of artists that have shown up on it are Harrison BDP, who's awesome. I definitely recommend him. DJ Boring, DJ Planet Express, No Format's sick. Definitely one of my preferred producers. That's kind of it. I mean, you've got your classics, like you have Ross from Friends on there. It's a really good playlist. And if you go onto YouTube, that playlist also has a YouTube account, and whoever the account is has put old school film footage with these songs, and I think that the old school film footage sits really nicely with Deep House. So check that out, EELF. That's my go for the week.
Sick. Thank you.
Jump in.
Thanks for the tip. I've been listening to Earth Boys heaps.
Okay.
So recently had a quasi festival experience for a mate's birthday.
Yeah.
Shout out to Will Dundon. Happy birthday for Friday.
Happy birthday, man.
So Earth Boys was played I think one or two of their tracks were played then. But yeah, really sick, melodic, breaky.
Nice.
Yeah.
Still on that breaky
it's hard to describe. So no, I just really recommend it. Just search them up, Earth Boys. Yeah, no, they're really sick. I recommend them. 100%. I can't even say what genre it is.
Well,
it's
you know
alternative.
what? We'll get it up on Instagram somehow, and we can share that so you guys can check it out. And I'll get that other one I was speaking about out as well.
Yeah, potentially links in the podcast bio even.
100%.
Yeah,
we can hit that up. Do we give a shout out to the festival-y?
Yeah,
event?
Sure. Wit voir. It was a really good time, man. So
sick
thanks
weekend.
for that.
Yeah,
really follow it on Instagram if you're interested.
We'll definitely check that out on Instagram. Super sick setup. Done it, and the guys doing it did such a good job. Props.
Pet peeve.
My pet peeve.
Yeah, I don't know if I have one. I have one that actually happened to me today, but it wasn't a peeve. It was just funny. So.
All right. Well, you start with it. You go.
Okay, this is just a mini one. It was in the library.
Yeah.
This isn't even a peeve. It was just sort of funny. I was in the library browsing. I walk into one of the aisles, and this guy just does a really loud fart, right next to me. This old guy standing right next to me.
Yeah.
And he realizes what he's done and turns around and looks at me and he smiles and sorry. And I was like, oh, that's fine. It's okay. And then I walked away.
Did you say it was okay?
Yeah, I was like, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
I can't believe he apologised. That's so funny.
Good on him for apologising.
Shout out.
Good on you for saying it's okay.
Yeah, no, it was fine.
Yeah, did it stink?
I got out of there, so...
Yeah, good. Evacuate.
Probably did, though.
Yeah, probably.
What was your legitimate peeve?
My legitimate peeve at the moment is... And I've gone blank. Well, yeah, that's it. People who beep their horn for too long, right? Like, it didn't happen exactly to me. It happened next to me on the opposite lane.
Second-hand peeve?
Second-hand peeve. Not a primary source. I was peeved off for the person who got beeped, and myself, because I had to hear the beep. Someone like moved in, and they definitely cut in. Like, it wasn't cool. They snaked in a bit into the lane, but the person behind them hit the horn for about 5 seconds, like just full on
rage.
Blare. 5 seconds.
That's
you
rage.
You don't achieve anything from that. If you're annoyed, give them the finger or give them like a quick toot. But what does a 5-second horn blast do?
It's actually like almost more antisocial than like a finger.
Yeah.
It's like really bad.
It's just shit. And like, you're not going to get your spot back. You lost about 3 seconds of your journey. Yeah, it really annoyed me. Yeah.
Stressful.
That was my peeve. I had to hear that. I hope no one has to hear that. Message us any of your own peeves of the week, or just have a chat to us next time you see us, or comment on the photo and tell us about your peeves.
The last section?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, we've spoken about challenges.
We have.
And we've decided on the first one.
We have.
Woo! So it's going to be a 24-hour fast, which isn't too wild, but it's not easy. Like,
I mean, you've done one before.
I have done one before. It was pretty difficult. It gets pretty sucky at times. But if you
Are we allowed black coffee? Of course.
Black coffee. Oh.
Surely.
Yeah, let's do black coffee.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Let's do black coffee. I think we should do. You're allowed black coffee.
If any of you guys get to... Well, what day are we doing it?
We're doing it this Friday. This Friday we'll start at about 6 o'clock, 5:30, and we'll finish it on Saturday night, 5:30, 6 o'clock, and hopefully get another episode out about it.
Sure, and also maybe if you guys get to us, should we put up a poll? RE black coffee.
Yeah,
everyone's going to stitch us up,
I'll put it up now.
Put it up now.
Okay.
Please let us have black coffee. Oh my goodness. It's going to suck if we can't.
Yeah. Or like tea, green tea, herbal tea.
I don't know.
Poll. It's going to be pretty non-context because people won't know.
True. Maybe do it after the episode. I don't know.
I think so, because people won't know what this is.
Well, you know about fasting more than me. If you have black coffee, do you break a fasted state?
It's
technically
up for dispute. From what I've read and the people that I follow about it, it's not breaking the fast. But a lot of people will say, "Yeah, that's breaking the fast." Fuck it, let's have black coffee.
Fuck it, we're having black coffee.
We're having black coffee. All right.
We're still going to consume. If we have like 4 coffees a day, which is probably what I have to stay awake, maybe less.
It's pretty much zero.
That's like 20 calories.
Not even, bro. Like maybe like. Bro, like...
They're on 5.
Bro science.
5 calories.
Anyway, yeah. So we're going to do a 24-hour fast. Obviously, if you watch this and you want to message us and be like, oi, no black coffee, send us a message and we might take your idea on board. Probably not.
If you can provide us with some evidence, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be cool. If you want to join us in the fast and do it like over the same time period as us, get in touch. That could be fun.
Come on the podcast.
You could even jump on the podcast with us when we talk about fasting for the next episode.
I'm excited for this challenge.
Yeah, let's do it. This Friday.
I'm excited for this challenge, Owen.
So am I, Curtis.
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I want to see how it feels.
And we'll have a cheeky feed.
Yeah.
And it's going to be good. And we're going to let you know about the benefits or negatives. It could just be really, really shit.
Yeah. Well, how was it when you did the first time?
It sucked a bit. Yeah.
Like first 12 hours, not too bad. Last 12 hours.
First 12 hours. Well, I slept for like 12 hours of it. Like I had a really long sleep that night, which really helped. Yeah, it's kind of just in the day when you're bored, you're not doing anything, and someone will sit down on the couch next to you with something nice, even a sandwich, carbs. You just like crave carbs, even though it's 24 hours. Man, some people do like 70 fucking hours and shit.
5-day fast.
Yeah, huge. Well, it's something we can build up to.
Maybe.
I think I'm being a bit dramatic. It's not entirely awful. It's 24 hours.
Yeah.
I need to snap out of it. We'll be sweet.
Yeah, for sure.
Ah!
Is that the episode?
Cool. I think that's the episode, man. We're probably forgetting something, but that's all right.
That's all right.
We're amateurs.
We've winged this episode more than the last, but it's gone well.
It's gone real well.
Yeah.
Well, you guys let us know if it's gone
Yeah.
well. Get back with some honest feedback about these episodes, by the way. We would love that. Something's flashing on the camera. It's really exciting. Oh, it stopped. Okay.
Has it?
Whew. Yeah, it stopped. It was up the top.
Just then?
Yeah. It stopped flashing though.
Do you reckon it's not recording?
No, that's a red dot.
Still recording?
Yeah.
Mate, this camera's
Fuck.
taking years off my life.
It's good though.
Thanks for listening to episode
Thanks for
3.
putting up with us, yeah. And the technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Get in touch. Again, like, it just... Oh, actually, you know what? A quick shout out to everyone who's been coming up and talking to us just outside of the camera, letting us know what they think and if they're enjoying it, and just general support.
Been getting so much positive feedback.
Yeah.
Ready to hear some constructive criticism though, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
But fucking big love to everyone so
Big
far.
love. Makes the heart really, really, really fucking warm.
So warm.
Yeah.
Got heartburn.
Oh no, Gaviscon, no.
Gaviscon, no.
Get in touch with us. But yeah, massive love, big oops.
Big oops.
Big ups to everyone who's been getting around it. It seriously means a lot. It's been sweet.
Sick.
It will be sweet. We'll just end it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks
we're
for
good.
listening.
We will bump up the episode frequency. That we are going to try work on that for you guys.
Yeah, we still need to get the video out for episode 2. We've been getting some technical difficulties. Fucking surprise.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The technical difficulty cafe.
Yeah, the difficult cafe.
Okay, now we're just talking shit. Sweet. This is Owen signing out. I really enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
This is Curtis signing out. See you next week.
Next
week? Yeah.
Next week. Oh, you've called it now. We suck.